The big petty car, and trying to make some headway today, which was very little, but I did make some. But I did get the rear braces on the back glass on, and I started painting the basically the trim around the window here. I got to go back over one more time and just to get it a little more darker. Basically, I like to put one deal of paint on and then go back in and do it again. It just makes it more darker, and it just I like the first layer of paint, just something the paint can have something to bite onto. But I did get those on. Started painting the trim on the front here. You can see where I need to go back in and repaint some of the little areas. I just did a real light trace of it, then I'll go back in with another deal of paint and we'll be good to go. And then I gotta basically, once I get that on, I gotta clean it. You can tell where I got smudges and everything on the windshield. But anyway, we'll take care of that once we get there. I did get the front grille on and got it painted. Did the same thing with the bumper. I got them painted and put on as well. And model glue kind of works, but you really have to like scrape all the chrome off. And I just use super glue. It just makes it a whole lot easier, and you don't have to actually work yourself to death to get the parts on the chrome parts. But anyway, I did get that accomplished. And basically, I've just been painting little small stuff and trying to get that accomplished as well. Hopefully, my game plan is to I like to get the body together and then wiring, and then I'll probably end up doing the decals last, but you know, who knows, we'll just see how this week goes out. One thing of note I'm going to have to do, and that's the braces that go on the inside of the glass here. If I actually put them on the glass, and I think they'll I think it just will look wrong and will not look good at all. And so what I did is I tack glued them on the dash here and the frame. That way you'll see the appearance of the windshield guards, but it won't ruin the the finish of the clear piece and everything. And I think it'll just be just a whole lot. I know it's not 100% accurate, but at least it will look much nicer than having glue stain on the window and all that good stuff. Anyway, so that is what I did on the braces. But anyway, we're knocking it out slowly but surely. The Romulan, basically doing some sub-assembly, got the LEDs wired up, and where did I do it? I'm going to back them, the clear parts, with basically just a white piece of paper. That way when you turn the lights on, it'll give it a nice little glow, and will hide any if you see the light spots, and that's basically the LED where it just one bright spot. That's why it'll kind of diffuse the light. I got the front end here assembled. I got to start sanding, which I'm probably going to sand tomorrow. I'm just going to sand that all the way down. It really needs no putty. It's just wet sanding, either with your sanding stick or white paper, and just dip it in water and just start sanding that smooth, and it should be a-okay. And one thing, I always light block on the outside, and most time I use black if I have to, but I'm a big fan of the dark gray primer. I think it actually does a nice job of light blocking, and plus you get 25% more, which that was a bonus when I bought it. But anyway, that's my game plan on that. So hopefully I can get that sanded next day or two, and then I got to think here, because I actually got wiring that's on the top here, which is going to go on the top of the body. And I'm probably what I'm going to do is end up fishing it, not on the top, but I'm going to fish it down the side here to one of the nacelles, because the nacelles are both wired, and then get it down under here and wire it all up, and then shove it down the brass pole, which I have got on the body here itself. And it's just 5-minute epoxy to hold it in, and we are good and strong. And always got to show, I always use I always use 132 and 133 on the brass tubes. So this one I use 132, and you will need to get 133 to make a telescoping one to basically put over the existing tube and then put it on the base. Because I'm not in the base, I don't make bases, and this is going to go on a wood base, so that'll just be easier. So I just put the appropriate amount of tubing, and then I will send that off, and that will be put on a base. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, I got that accomplished. So I'm just got to wire up everything, and I'll be done with it. Up next for the build for others, I'm going to build Whitman's Tiger, like I said in the last one. But I had to go dig in the art, because I wanted to, I was either going to piece it together, or I was going to use I call this a toy model. And this is, well, there's my assistant. This is from a company called New Ray, and I bought this at the hobby store because, number one, it was 32nd scale, and you don't find many 32nd scale tanks. You know, they're always 35th, and I always thought, you know, some days I like to pick them up when you see 32nd scale stuff. But anyway, you get, where did I see it at? You get 4 tanks. You get Tiger 1, King Tiger, and T80 and M1. Now they're basic plain Jane, and that's what I like. I don't really care for, you know, dead nut accurate model kits, especially in armor. I like the plain Jane ones, because then you can add and customize all you want. But anyway, we're going to build a Tiger 1, and Whitman's was basically an initial, you know, Tiger. The only really complaint with the New Ray models is they have molded on detail, but if you look at it, it's actually pretty darn spiffy. Now some things we'll have to add, you know, because Whitman's Tiger, he had track on the side of the hull, which I'll have to go out of the parts box. But for $20 you get an electric tank. It actually moves. The track itself, it's actually pretty decent. It's vinyl, but the detail on it's pretty sharp, and you know, in and out. So, and you know, everything can be repainted. That's the beauty of it. But more and more, I'm getting to like I call them toy models. I'm really getting to like these, because they're just plain Jane, basic, and they're cheap, and you can customize anymore. This is going to get a metal barrel, so when that comes in, and that's probably going to be about a month, because it's coming in from overseas. What I'm going to do is I'll sand this down, and I'll whack this off, and put the metal barrel on, and we'll go from there. Of course, I'll probably have to put the muzzle brake on the metal barrel, if I think it's the one I think it is. But anyway, it's pretty accurate, the kit itself, but there's a couple of things that, you know, like the on and off switch here, you know, you'd have to hide if you wanted to get, you know, technically accurate. But anyway, the hatches on here, I mean, they're pretty well detailed. You only really got one working hatch, which you know, even the inside is somewhat vague. I mean, it's there, the basic detail, but a little bit of scratch building if you really want to go all town. Chargers there, not too bad. You know, some things are just a little, you know, cheap made, but anyway, I think it's a great kit. And so we're going to make Whitman's Tiger out of it. So anyway, I'll slap that together pretty soon, and we'll start doing some armor. Anyway, that's what I've got going on today. I'm going to get ready to start the Tiger here, and we will make it workable so you can use it, and we'll paint it and all that. Trying to get the Warbird assembled. It's in multi-pieces, and we're slowly but surely trying to make some headway on the big petty car. I should have a shed update, so stay tuned for that. So that's what I got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.